It is week 3 of my 1 week, 1 shelf challenge of 2024. I'm excited. So far it's been going really well, like really well. And we've been through a lot of books, some of them better than others, but successful. So we're doing it again. And I'm really nervous because will it continue going well? Will it not? A little stressed. Actually, it's Valentine's Day this week. Today. Yeah, it is today. And I'm wearing like a somewhat Christmassy Valentine's Day. We're gonna go with that. I wanted to say I started the audiobook Part of Your World, and it is a romance. And I'm not a big romance reader. That's why I don't really mind that I'm doing this challenge every year, so I'm not really doing the whole oh, let's read romance. But I'm listening to that one, and I was really worried that I was going to hate it because it's a romance, and I get secondhand embarrassment so easily. I've been smiling and giggling. I'm an hour into it, and I'm smiling and giggling. Who am I? I had been told by some of you that I was going to really love this, and I'm hoping it's going to keep going, but so far the pros are I'm enjoying that it started right away. She is in a ditch and this man comes in and help her, just like that. And I'm enjoying the chemistry, I'm enjoying the banter so far, and I really like the fact that she's 37, which, listen, I think that is the reason that I used to really think I hated romance, because, not hated, but it wasn't for me. I kept reading YA fantasy romance, or technically they were romance disguised as fantasy, and I hated the bait and switch every time. So I feel like I've been slowly changing my mind. I'm still very picky, and I was really worried, again, audiobook, because the cringe, but so far it's good. I really hope that it's gonna keep going, but I think it helps that she's 37 and not 16 with purple eyes and multicolor hair and tiny, I can't, but I wanted to mention it before I forget because it's going well. The cats are screaming at the door. I'm not opening it. Really? Really, sci-fi? I literally was complaining last week that I was worried about the sci-fi, that I need to do a vlog cleaning up those shelves because there's so many classic ones that I'm worried about. I need to do a drastic read it or unhaul it because I want to read them. I like the idea of them, but they're so old and it shows. So you can, oh, that is one of the, oh, it's on the other side. I just saw it. It's one of the ones that I cut so well at the end of week 1. So 24, which contains all of the books that are a challenge for me this year. So I feel like it's a sign that it needs to happen. Let's go see. I really am not in the mood for sci-fi. I just survived sci-fi, but it could be worse. It could be worse. You can see I desperately need to organize my shelves, but whatever. So this is what we're working with. Yeah, this is not good. I've been meaning to get rid of that series. I have that I really wanted to read, and I should continue this, but I've heard that it's really confusing, and I don't want to do that to myself right now. So these are all supposed to be some that I read right now. I have read this one. I have not read these, but dystopian right now, I don't know. I have read this series, so whatever. I don't think I have time to read this whole thing. This one should not be there. It's not sci-fi. I have read that. So yeah, I think it's gonna have to be in between those. Okay, so I don't have it in me to read the other ones on there, so we're gonna try to not make myself miserable, and it's gonna be these. I think maybe, even though it's the shortest one, that's not the reason I'm picking it up. Maybe a little bit, but I wanted to read this because of the premise. The main character has power, and I had heard great things, so I wanted to try this one. And after that, maybe I really wanted to read this because a lot of you told me it was good, but maybe I'll do a read the first chapter and then pick whatever you're supposed to read this week. Actually, doing it with 5 books sounds a little excessive, so I'm gonna try this one. If I don't like it, I'm gonna try a chapter. If I like it, when I'm done, I'll try a chapter or something. Or try a chapter until you feel the need to continue, so I don't have to read the first chapter all 4. As soon as I'm into it. Because I'm feeling slumpy-ish still, and too much sci-fi. This is not the month for sci-fi, okay? This is... It's okay. So far it's been going well, so I'm probably complaining for no reason. So we're gonna get to it. I'll update you, and cross your fingers. I need all the luck. All of it. Update number 1. I am done with Riot Baby because for some reason I'm realizing that I have stopped saying the titles of the books that I'm reading. I don't know what happened. I'm sorry. I know some of you are doing things at the same time as you're watching this, so like I need to get it together. But yes, Riot Baby. I finished it. It's like 175 pages, and I had picked this book up because it was I don't remember if it was winner or just a nominee for the Nebula Award or the Hugo Award, whichever. Which apparently have since have controversy. I don't remember which one it was, both. Who knows at this point. But it was supposed to be a challenge for me this year to read a bunch of them, which is what was on that shelf, right? Shelf 24. Anyway, I finished it, and it started good because I didn't have much of an idea what it was about, and then my interest... I knew it was about a female character that had like a thing, like some kind of superpower. But the book, I lost interest whenever we stopped following her as the main character, like it flip-flops. But the first, like, I don't know, maybe 100 pages, less than that, I was really into the book. And then we switched to her brother's point of view, and I just slowly lost interest. The book is about like a serious and interesting topic. Obviously, it's about like violence. Both characters are Black Americans. I believe they live in New York. And, you know, gang violence or gun violence, and also police brutality, like prison system. It's a very interesting topic. I haven't read a ton of books or a ton of fiction books on the topic. I had read, I think it's All the Way Down, which is a YA one. And I like that one more. But what I resent from this one is that I thought it was going to be more sci-fi, and it felt more and more magical realism, which I'm not a fan. So it almost gave me vibes. No, but like it just, yeah, I lost interest by the end. So I think it's a question of like, it's not a bad book. I'm just the wrong reader for it. So I think I'm going to give it a 3 stars, but with the reading slump, which I'm realizing, I've been saying that I'm in a reading slump, but I've been reading like 2 books a week for the challenge. It is due to the challenge, trust me. If it weren't for the challenge, I would not read anything, I think, this month, because I'm just not feeling it. But that's besides the point. Because of the slump, I guarantee you, I wouldn't finish it if it was any longer than this. So yeah, I'm done for tonight. I'm gonna go and do something else. But tomorrow I'll decide whichever book I pick. I'll probably, like I said in the intro, try one. Maybe I'll read it until maybe it annoys me or something. I put it down, then go to the next one and keep doing this until the week is done. But I'm going to start with the one that is supposed to be like Hidden Figures and hope for the best. Some of you warned me that the spicy scenes were cringy because they kept making like references, like metaphors with like space stuff. So like rockets. I don't know. I don't remember, but I remember you warning me. So I'm prepared for it. But I'm hoping for the best because I didn't read the book, but I watched the movie and liked it. So yeah, 3 stars. Things are not going well. We'll see. I am also listening to the audiobook of the romance book. That is going well. I'm almost done. I like the main male character a lot more than the female character. Like, I understand context, blah, blah, blah. But you have this whole, like, city rich girl and then the guy from the small town. Whatever. There are some cliches, but as an audiobook, I really thought I was going to get secondhand embarrassment and, like, cringe. But I really enjoyed it. I mean, I have, like, an hour or 2 left, whatever. And if anything, she annoys me. Which usually, out of the, like, 10 romance books I've read, it's usually the main male character that annoys me. So far so good. Wait, I just read the first chapter. Why did no one tell me what it was about? Did you guys tell me and I forgot? This is right up my alley. Like, F all the stress that I had before that. I'm not reading the other books. This is going to be it. And I'm going to love this. Like, prediction at least a 4 star, because it starts with a meteorite hitting Earth. That is right up my alley. So yeah, I'm not worried anymore. I will see you once I'm done with it in like 3 days. I'm gonna fly through this. So Coquette, are you over your fear of the litter box? Are you gonna poop in it today, or are you gonna shit on my floor again? You don't seem too sure. Do you need to think about it? They know you will. They know you will. I know you will too. I have to go do some errands and I'm really worried to come back home and have to clean up after you again. Ugh. I got you a new litter box, so you won't be scared of that one. Is it going to work? You're a good boy. Right? You're a good boy. Yeah. Chunky's always a good boy. The biggest, goodest boy. Good morning. Time for the last update. Claudia did poop in her box, her new box. The week is done. I am done. I wanted to start by reviewing the audiobook before I forget. So, Part of Your World. See, I'm saying the title. Good for me. I'm hoping that's the title. I returned it to the library. It was the audiobook, right? And I enjoyed it. I really did. I'm going to give it 4. I'm running it down because of the female character. I'm sorry, but she annoyed me. I think it's because she reminds me of women that I've had in my life. And I feel like the older I get, the more I struggle to deal with, you know, when you want to shake them, because it's like, you don't have to put yourself last. You don't have to. And it's not the character's fault. It makes complete sense in the context, but she still annoyed me. I feel like when you're younger, your friends are dating questionable men and you're like, there are only so many times I will tolerate hearing about it before I tell you stop, because you're just using me to feel better and then you go back. I can't do it. But when you get older, they start marrying them and having babies with them, and it's just, I cannot be around you anymore. Like, I will be here once you wake up and leave. Hopefully you do. But like, it's really hard. And it's not the relationship, because like I said earlier, the dude, fantastic. It's her. She was annoying me. And I feel like I'm being extra harsh, but I read for my enjoyment, and towards the end she annoyed me, but I get that there needs to be some kind of conflict because it's a romance. I get it. So I did really enjoy it though. I was worried, you know, audiobook, romance, cringe factor. No, I giggled. Literally giggle. Like, you know, people are like laying down their stomach, kicking feet. That was me. That was me. Smiling, giggling. The banter was cute. The spicy scenes were not, you know, overwhelming or anything. And I just was pleasantly surprised. I have put my name on the waiting list for the second book at the library, also as an audiobook. Again, revelation for me. I believe you're following a friend, so like they might be in the background, this couple. So we'll see how that goes. I would be surprised if it was better than this one, but I've heard fantastic reviews, so hopefully I'm surprised. So that was the best one, and it's not even part of this challenge. I just wanted to talk about it because I started, you know, around Valentine's Day. It made me feel super single. It was great. So let's talk about The Calculating Stars, which I'm pretty sure I didn't name it earlier. It's a work in progress. So this was a sci-fi, right? That was the shelf for this week. And at first it started super strong because the whole like dystopian vibes of like meteorite hitting Earth, literally the first sentence. I did feel like my enjoyment went down a little bit because it became more historical fiction, which like, that's just a personal preference. It's set in the 50s, so it's like the whole like movement of like, oh, going into space, blah, blah, blah. But the main female character is a calculator. So again, a little bit like the movie for me, or the book, Hidden Figures. So that was definitely part of it. Her dealing with the sexism of wanting to become, you know, an astronaut. She was a pilot during the war, so like she should be a candidate, but having to deal with misogyny. So not my favorite thing to read historical fiction wise, but I was really enjoying the beginning. Like the first 100 pages, I flew through the book, and then it became harder and harder to get through. I don't want to spoil anything, but I'm just going to say that the reason I'm running it down is because of the Betty situation towards the end, like the way it's concluded, whatever. So no hard feelings towards it though, but I'm going to round it down to 3 because of that. You guys had warned me about the spicy scenes and how there would be a lot of metaphors with like rockets, which like I was ready to cringe, and they were there, but like they weren't that bad. And I feel like I've mentioned so many times how like I get, you know, secondhand embarrassment or whatever with spicy scenes. But I think people are expecting me to react to every single one of them. And like, this one wasn't that bad. Like, yes, they were cringe, but like, it's one sentence and then it's like goes to black. Like it never happens. I'm totally okay with that. Like, I don't, if it was pages and pages of rockets, I would cringe. But like, it would be like, like, my God, I loved a successful rocket launch. That's the only sentence. Like, it's not like, yeah, it's cringe, but like, whatever. And I had put a few, oh yes, I forgot. I had put a few post-its. I couldn't find the small ones. I have these giant ones. One of the things that I cringe a little bit is whenever there is some French in a book, which there isn't here. It makes me cringe whenever I feel like it's not proper French. Like if you're gonna put French, put proper French. And sometimes I don't know, is it just me? It's historical fiction. I don't think French has changed that much. And I feel like if the main character is French, why do they speak wrong? Like for example, I don't think this person is, I don't know if that person's first language is French. I had two examples, but that's one of them. And it says like, oui, il est l'ordre naturel, je pense. That's not proper French. Il est l'ordre naturel. No. No. And there was another one. It says, ce ne fut pas une explosion où nous aurions senti. Wouldn't be, where's the L apostrophe? Like, nous l'aurions senti, right? Nous aurions senti quoi? L'explosion. Like, and they repeat the exact same sentence in English. So that's why I feel like they just put it in Google Translate. Like, you have to put the L apostrophe. Like, it makes no sense. Anyway, that's like 5 sentences in the book. That is French, 10, whatever. Like, it's not a big deal. It's just, it's my first language. So of course I'm going to notice. So no big deal. But yeah, it's probably 3.5. It was very readable, which I really appreciate because it's 420 something pages. So like, I was a little worried, will I have time to finish it? Yes. That's one of the thing about this challenge. I have 1 week. So it's like really hard to like, sure I can, you know, push it one day or something. But since I'm doing it like back to back to back. But yeah, it was very readable. Yeah, 3.5 might sound low, but I don't think it was. My only question here is, do I continue? I believe there's a quartet, like there's a 4th book coming out, but the next 2 are out. And I don't know if I want to continue because like it was perfectly fine on its own, but I don't know, is it worth continuing? I feel like the ratings are really high for the rest of the series, but it's because nobody read it. Like, I think it's like 1,500 people that read the 2nd book, so like, or rated it. So is it worth it? Are they going to space? Am I getting more sci-fi vibes than historical fiction? You tell me, but yeah, nothing mind-blowing this week, but nothing awful, which I finished some books, which is what we needed. So yeah, that's it for week 3 of my 1 week, 1 shelf challenge. I personally think it's going well. No reading slumps. And I'm going to go ahead and get ready and pick up week 4 shelf. I don't want another sci-fi one. Let's be real, I love sci-fi, okay? But we've established that I'm nervous about the ones I have on my shelf. And I feel like 2 out of 3 were sci-fi. We need something else. We need something else. I might complain if it's a classic or a non-fiction shelf. Because again, I'm worried about the slump, but things have been going well. So like, yeah. That's it. I will see you next week. More videos on the screen. And yeah, cross your fingers for me.